Some might say it's cold. Others, like myself and my partner, we say this is football weather as we welcome you to chilly M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Denver Broncos and the Baltimore Ravens. Calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And right away, he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
As you and I both know, one reason teams script plays to start a game is so they can practice them ahead of time. I will guarantee you that fumble was not in the script.
You don't think they had fumble written next to play one there?
No, that was never in the script because they want to have good memories when they go into a ball game, not something that could have gone wrong.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And, Charles, you think about what this defense has had to prepare for. They're in for a battle. I mean, they're facing a team that is working on a 6-game winning streak.
And that can be intimidating when you think about it in those terms, but I think what they need to do is make some sort of a statement early in this game, whether it's a turnover, a takeaway, a key sack on third down, a 3-and-out, something lets the other guys know that you mean business. Figuratively, throw the first punch and make it a good one.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. It's Barkley once again bringing in the catch. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. They'll send the tight end in motion left. To throw again on second down. Wilson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. And, of course, that's not an easy man to sack. You know how elusive he can be trying to get outside of the pocket. That was a great play on the defensive side.
Now, I wonder what was going through his mind because he didn't seem as committed to using his legs to pick up yardage. He wanted to keep that play alive, so either take off and go or throw it away.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And the Ravens are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
The Ravens take over first down at their own 20-yard line.
The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. The CD, this offense at 11-0 now on the year. A few weeks ago, I remember asking you what kind of percentage chance that you thought they had at staying unbeaten the entire season. I think you said 25%. I'd imagine that number probably grown since then.
I would agree with you, and I'm going to actually bump it up to closer to 50%. Only because they still have some tough games to come. And keeping that focus throughout the entire season, that's been a really difficult thing to pull off. But so far, they've done it, and they've done it well.
Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First quarter. Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain. Second down. This defense for the Broncos, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the shotgun, Wilson. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
There's Wilson. Touchdown! Albert Okwuegbunam, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers. And he loses the football a second time. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. They go play action with Jackson. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Jackson to Watkins there for a Baltimore first. On the counter now, it's Dobbins. And some room to run now. And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10. 66 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. They'll run with Dobbins. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson scoring on the 2-yard keeper. And the Ravens are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. And he clanks it off the right upright. And it's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
The Georgia man, Roquan Smith, came in and got him. After one, a one-point game, 7-6. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming. Wilson. He'll get that complete to Alberto. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From the 39, Wilson. And this one too low. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think he might have had it right. He wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield, and it almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
One away. It's taken to the 26. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. Well, sometimes those punt returns can yield some unnecessary roughness penalty.
Now, I know a lot of guys, when they run a long way to execute a block or make a hit, they're going to launch it no matter what, and it can often cost them.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 82 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. So the lanes continue to be there for Lamar Jackson to run that football. That his 2nd touchdown run of the game.
You know what I would like? I'd like for us to be able to go into a defense's room after playing Lamar Jackson and watch the tape and see how much of a lane was really there and how much he created just through his talent. In any event, Lamar Jackson finds the end zone, doesn't he?
He always seems to, but that's a good point. We sometimes put blame on the defense. Maybe we just need to praise Lamar Jackson a little bit more. Jackson here, he's going to look to throw. to the end zone, but it's incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Barkley, inside handoff. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
We're going to start looking for big-time corners. We're going to start with athleticism, but without technique, you're not going to make plays as what we just saw there.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
That's a nice job there because you got to play the ball, not the man running coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. It sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's a give to Dobbins running right to about the 33-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep, and he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, I'm not not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
On 1st and goal, Drake. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, ends up spilling it for a loss.
They'll try again with Drake. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. On that sideline, they're saying that was more like it. The first down run went backwards, that time into the end zone.
And I like their little bit of courage in play calling, too. Because after an unsuccessful run, especially one where you lose yardage, you oftentimes go right to throwing the football. They came right back with a running play, and it paid off handsomely.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
This is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. And that's caught. It's Brian Edwards. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Still all sorts of time left in this game, and you'd like to be able to say take it one play at a time. But the truth is, they're probably going to have to hit on a few big plays in the passing game to close this gap. And that's a good start right there.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Wilson. He'll get this one to Patrick. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Flushed out right. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
He will push his way down to about the 14. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, this a 31-yard attempt. The kick by McManus is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
One of the things you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now it's Wilson. It's Edwards again. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Well, that's one way to convert on third down, picking up 26 yards.
A big completion there against double coverage. And Charles, one of those guys had a pick on him earlier.
Yeah, so he didn't allow that to deter him at all, did he? In fact, it probably was a challenge. Okay, you got to pick me 4. It's my turn now to make the big play, and that's exactly what he did.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
To throw again is Wilson.
That's complete. It's HOK.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over it.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Big play coming here. It's third and goal.
Here's Wilson. Looking in zone, but it's incomplete. So they have to pass for it on third and goal. Let's see what they do on fourth and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on fourth and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
They're going on fourth down. It's Wilson. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown.
Greg Dulcich from a yard out. And the Broncos' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
Well, an all-out battle on fourth and goal, offense versus defense, and the offense won it.
And I'm just wondering what was going through the minds of the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Were they playing the run too much? Were they not focused that the whole playbook was open in that situation? Give the offensive guys a lot of credit. I just wonder what the defensive guys were thinking.
Wilson going to throw for it. Throws right side. And he's got it. So they went ahead and went for 2 to tie the game, and it works out. So all square here in this third quarter. here as the kick's away.
Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 40.
They'll start with a handoff to Dobbins. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack, and I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one, but occasionally the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly, maybe someone tipped it off, but on that play, it had no chance.
Open man is Duvernay.
They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Jackson now.
That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman.
And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
With the football changing hands here as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Albert Okwuegbunam on the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Now Wilson. Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Stopped in his tracks and given a loss on that play by Patrick Queen.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Now it's Wilson. Over the middle, complete. That's Edwards. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
His man complete. It's Patrick. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
Well, dialing up that play call certainly meant that he grabbed a little extra shot of courage on that one, because normally on 3rd and short, you're just trying to move the sticks, get the ball just past that line of scrimmage. Instead, they take the big shot downfield, and it pays off.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. And they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
From the 22, Wilson. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be brought down at what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Here's Wilson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Broncos have broken our tie and have taken a 4th quarter lead. McManus's point after is good. And they will take a 7-point lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. The pressure is on now. They're being shut out here in the second half after a decent first half offensively. And they need their best drive of the game right here. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. They go play action with Jackson. Buying time to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Nick Bonito coming in there to record the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Complete to his running back, Kenyon Drake. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. To throw on 2nd and 10. Wilson. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Edwards. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. Slot man moves right. Up the middle with Barkley. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. Tackle there by Michael Pierce.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On 3rd down, Wilson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. He's done this a lot. Justin Houston in there to record the sack. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Denver. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 136 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They go play action now. Jackson, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away from pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8.
Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. On a huge mistake late. It's intercepted. And the Broncos are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside the quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. Here's the sneak with Wilson. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the 1st.
Well, I liked it. Just take the snap, burrow forward, pick up the few inches you need for a 1st down.
And defensively, I don't think they were expecting that. They looked a little surprised in the middle.
Yeah, a little bit wary there, weren't they? Because that can be a throwaway down where maybe you go play action, fake it, and try and get something big. But instead he said, forget it. Let's just get a 1st down and start a new set.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Running left, it's Barkley.
On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee.
Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half with the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the second half, that's a surprise.
So for the Broncos, They continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, there will be